We're now going to hear about establishing the Innopharma Education Library from Colm OConnor, who is the first librarian at Innopharma Education, which is a third level institution based in Sandyford in Dublin with over 1,500 students.
Okay, afternoon everybody, nearly there. So my name's Colm OConnor and I am the college librarian at Innopharma Education. So I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to Innopharma Education. So we're an Irish-owned education research and technology institute. We mainly focus on pharmaceutical, medtech, food industries, as well as digital transformation. We were established over 12 years ago, and since then have produced over 9,000 graduates. We have 1,500 students in courses ranging from level 6 all the way up to level 9 MSc, and we focus very strongly on blended and flexible learning. So most of our courses are run in partnership with our academic partners, Griffith College and TU Dublin. Since September 2021, however, we have been running our own KOHA validated course, which is a level 6 cert in process digitisation. So, in March 2021, a librarian, it's myself, was added to the college staff, there I am there, to establish a library service in order to serve students and staff across all of our programs. So, day one, the college never had a library, never had a librarian, so, it was a kind of a blank canvas. It was really exciting. I got a chance to kind of put my stamp on something, build a library from the ground up. There was definitely a bit of apprehension though. So I think my face for the first kind of few weeks looked a bit like that. Maybe the first few months, I can't quite remember. But I kind of got over that, kind of took a deep breath, kind of got to work. So I started talking to people. So I talked to a lot of people. Sorry, go back to that. Yeah, so I talked to my colleagues in Innopharma. So I talked to my boss, was the head of teaching and learning, Kathy Peck. We had a learning technologist, Danielle O'Rourke. So we had a learning support coordinator as well, Alexander Anton, and then many other Innopharma colleagues, too many to mention really, but all very helpful. I reached out to library colleagues across the country as well, emailed them, phoned them, bothered them basically, tried to just get help and advice and where to go. I was really overwhelmed by the responses, so lots of people in this room actually helped me out, so thank you. And then of course I also talked to students in Innopharma, what kind of library do they want, what do they want in a library, that kind of thing. So I was able to fall back on my own experience and background as well. So I spent a good few years over 12 years in RCSI, worked across a number of different areas, in customer services, research support, teaching and learning, information resources, as well as our clinical library branch out in Beaumont Hospital. So, I was kind of able to feel a bit better about that. I talked to people, I was able to fall back on my experience, and then felt a bit better. So that was me after a couple of months. Definitely felt a lot better. So I got going. One of the first big questions was whether the library was going to be physical or online. So basically the library needed to support the students and the courses at Innopharma, which as I said, kind of focus on blended and flexible learning. So many of our students are mature, kind of regionally located, many are part-time. So an online library basically suited our needs best, where resources, guidance, support, asynchronous resources and so on are available 24/7. So online library was definitely the best fit for our institution. With that in mind, online library, that's where we're going. We need to put the library infrastructure into place. So we needed to put systems in place, needed resources, we needed to spread awareness that we now had a library, and we needed to integrate the library into the organisation. So in terms of systems, the two major systems we looked at obviously were what we needed, a library management system, we needed an authentication solution. So in terms of a library management system, we went with KOHA, which was hosted, implemented and supported by Interleaf, based in Wicklow. So we chose that, that's just a shot of our OPAC there, nicely customised to fit in with our VLE. So we chose KOHA, really, it was very cost effective, had a strong track record in libraries in Ireland, across the world, It's used by very large libraries, by very small libraries. So scalability was really important because while we're relatively small now, we will grow rapidly in the short to medium term. So scalability was really important. Then just cost was obviously a factor as well, user-friendliness, and the fact that Interleaf are an Irish company. There are few big things that kind of swayed our decision for KOHA. In terms of an authentication solution, two major choices. We had Open Athens or Easy Proxy. So I was familiar with Easy Proxy from my time at RCSI, but ultimately Open Athens was just a better fit for our organisation. Kind of a newer technology, user-friendliness was a big decision in why I went with Open Athens. Being a solo librarian without a huge amount of tech knowledge, the user-friendliness was a big factor in choosing Open Athens. So, in terms of resources, just to note that students on the courses we run in partnership with Griffith College and TU Dublin, they have access to their own libraries as well, or their libraries, as well as the Innopharma library. So, they have access to resources in those libraries. But for ourselves, we opened a number of ebook accounts with ProQuest, EBSCO, Brown's Books. Innopharma Library actually only has one physical copy, which lives on my desk in my home office, which is a copy of Cite Them Right. So that's the only one book we have, so I think it's quite an extreme version of a library now, so I think. So in terms of, we kind of focused strongly on open access resources, promoted them very strongly. So, we have links to a directory of open access journals, directory of open access books. We promote tools like Unpaywall as well. So we make full use of and we promote open access resources as much as we can. So that's really the resource. Yeah, sorry. In terms of resources then as well, we created a number of instructional guides. So the usual academic integrity to Zotero, guides to academic writing, finding information, finding images, that sort of thing. And all these guides live on our online library, available in a number of different formats, video formats, text, PDFs, accessible formats, and so on. So I just want to give a really short 60-second tour of the library itself. So the library itself lives on our VLE, which is a customized version of Moodle called InnoSkills. So let's hope this goes smoothly. So let's see if this plays. Yeah, so you see that's our Moodle there. The library module is open to everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the library, bring us to the library homepage. See just a little welcome there. Just going to scroll down through the library. You'll see the different sections. So we have sections in academic integrity, academic writing, finding dissertations, finding images, exam papers, information literacy, plagiarism, referencing, contacting myself, Zotero. I have an FAQ there as well. Just going to click on one of the sections, which is referencing, just to get an idea of what type of thing is in each section. So I'm going to click on referencing there, scroll down, and you see there's a number of different guides there. Just going to click on our PDF guide to referencing. So I'm going to click on that and open up, and that's just our PDF guide to referencing. So that's a very whistle-stop tour of the Innopharma library, which lives on our Moodle. So the next step obviously was introducing the library to students. So it was really important to spread the word that we now had a library. So students on all our programs are introduced to myself and the library at inductions. I go through an overview of the online library, how I can help them in their studies. The library, we also worked with the Learner Support Coordinator to develop a series of workshops, so weekly workshops on academic and study skills. And kind of in keeping with our focus on flexible and blended learning, they're recorded, so they're available 24/7. They've been really popular, so we ran 9 workshops over this last term, and we got over 1,100 attendees for those 9 workshops. So we're very kind of dedicated and passionate learners who really do attend the things we develop for them, which is great. And we got a similar number of views for our online, for the online recordings as well. So then in terms of introducing the library to the organisation, the Innopharma never had a library, so I needed to integrate it into the organisational structure. So a year in now, we now have a place on, the library has a place in the Academic Council, on the Research Committee, the Academic Integrity Group, and the Programme Development Team. So we're really well represented throughout the organisation, so it enables kind of myself as the library to advocate for the library, but then also to allow me to share my librarian knowledge with these groups and ultimately give a better service to staff and students, basically. So just 1 year on, just a couple of thoughts. Like it's nicely up and running now. It's established part of the organisation. KOHA and Open Athens are running flawlessly, really. No tech issues to report. In terms of challenges, I'd say the biggest challenge for me personally was just putting myself out there, putting the library out there. Kind of my natural inclination is to put my head down and go in a quiet corner over there. So I wasn't really able to do that with this job. I had to tell people we had a library, I had to go out, I had to basically make a bit of noise, I suppose. Which definitely isn't me, but you did it, which is great, thank you. Then also just the roles kind of allowed me to use a lot of the skills I developed in previous roles. I also did the MLAS in UCD back in 2010. I wrote my thesis on open source library management systems, so to get a chance to implement one of those in real life, was really satisfying. And then finally, I'm just really grateful to Innopharma for giving me the opportunity. It's kind of a bit of a unique opportunity to develop something from nothing. Just hope I've repaid their trust by creating a library the organisation can be proud of and that helps students. And I hope it'll just be one that'll grow alongside the institution. And that's it for me. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Colm.